The general debate in the parliament has grilled the government. Movable Party, the opposition, has criticized Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin for failing to keep his promises. Joining me now is Mr. Chaiwat Sathawornwichit, Movable Party's MP. So
Yes.
The first question I just want to ask you, do you think Srettha's government receives a good score at this point?
No.
No. Why?
So far, we have seen a lot of announcement from the government. But if we look into the details, if we look into the real progress of each policy that they have announced and have been doing so far, there is not so many concrete progress on that. You see the policy on digital wallets. Since the start, we have been it has been going on for like 7 months already, but it's still going nowhere. Still don't know where does the source of fund comes from. Don't know how to distribute it. Everything's still unclear. And they keep saying there will be the next announcement, then and then. But every time things get changed. Every time. So this gonna introduce in confidence the distrust for the public, domestic and internationally.
So just want to understand, of course, for the digital wallet scheme, Deputy Leader of your party, Chaiwat Sathawornwichit, already said that this scheme has been revised for 5 times. And as what you said, it's unclear that where the fund will come in to support this scheme.
For me, I think they should start another way. They should introduce another way to stimulate the economy. Like a long time ago already, if they say the economy of Thailand is in crisis and need a lot of stimulus to do, why do they have to stick to this only? There are many ways to introduce the new economic stimulus and economic reform. That is what Thailand's economy is really need. You know, the growth of Thai economic have declined over the past decades. We have growth like 6% and fall down to 4%, and now it's like 2%. And it will keep declining if we haven't changed anything. Boosting consumption by digital wallet can do only a short term of the promotion of the economic activities, but it cannot keep the Thai economy heads up. We have to focus more on investment, not the consumption. If you want to boost economic growth for a sustainable growth, we have to keep on investing. Like if you open a food store, if you don't invest in more containers, more seats, how can you boost yourself, right? It's the same logic.
Yeah, that's the point, right? Because maybe digital wallet scheme could only revitalize the short-term growth there. Because I talked to international financial organizations and business leaders in Thailand. They always say that they want to see this 500 billion baht. Of course, this scheme partially allocated to long-term growth. Another thing is about the justice system reform. How do you see about the justice reform right now?
I have not seen any progress on the reform so far. We saw a lot of problems on the justice system from the law enforcement, like the police, from the court. There are a lot of things that we have to reform, but so far we haven't seen any progress then. And this is a serious problem for Thailand, as it does the starting point of the social problems. If we have multi-standard, double standards on the justice system, as anyone in this country have seen so far, is pretty obvious. If you are a rich guy, a millionaire, you don't go to jail, right? You can walk on the street. But for some people say that the jail is for poor people only. and that is pretty much true and widely known in Thailand. But because we have to reform from the police who enforce the law and for the judge who can interpret the law and make judgment on many cases. So there are many things to be done in this, but so far we haven't seen the attempts, the real attempts to do the reform from the current government at all.
Another one is you just ended another meeting in the committee about the debt and poverty. Can you talk about it? Because of course the poverty line in Thailand is still severe at this point. What have you heard in that committee?
Yeah, I am in the committee on debt resolution, poverty problems solution, and also the inequalities reduction. These three topics or these three problems are really big, and they are linked, they are related. There are inequalities, right? There are poverties, and that's why they are in debt. As we all know, the public debt in Thailand, not the public debt, sorry, household debt in Thailand has increased in the past 10 years.
91%.
Yeah, to 91%. And that is what is that we have the data, but there are still the underground debt that we don't know exactly how much it is. And estimations can be the same or higher amount of the debt that outside the credit bureau system. Why we see the increasing of the debt so far, I have to say it's about the growth of our income, the Thai people income. The growth are so low. Even if we don't take the inflation into account, the growth of our income are so low that the interest that we have to pay can overshoot or overrun on the income growth. That's why we most of middle income people or lower middle income people cannot escape from the cycle of debt at all. And that is the root cause that we have to focus and try to address on the income, not in the debt. How to increase the income for the Thai people so that they can service their debt. And if we can solve that, we can also solve the inequality problem as well, because incomes are the source of many things, are the source of opportunities for your education, opportunities for exploring your new potentials. They are all from your incomes. And as we have seen so far, the higher income people are getting richer and richer. And the middle and lower income people, they are struggling more and more. And this committee try to address in the short term and in the long term. In the short term, we try to enforce the law and regulations that are abused and take advantage over the debtor. So this is the short term, how we can make their burden as low as possible. And for the long term, we focus on how we can increase or we can raise the income of the people, which in terms of we come to the big question of how can we reform the Thai economy, how we can create productivity for workers, for people in Thailand, how we can introduce more jobs that produce more value.
Another point, of course, I think it's very important, is about the engagement internationally. SNU, a company, Kumpita Limjaruna, went to Geneva in Switzerland for the Inter-Parliament Union. and I think it's very important because you're going to talk about the strength and weakness about Thailand's parliament, and you're going to learn more from other countries' parliaments too. So I just want to understand what have you learned in this meeting, and of course, Senate election would come soon. So
Yeah.
what do you think about the Senate system right now in Thailand's parliament?
So the first question is about
The IPU.
IPU meetings. Yeah, we represent the Thai Parliament. We represent the countries in the international meeting. There are like 180 countries
Yeah.
who join the dialogue in the meetings, and we discuss a lot of important issues like how do we control or regulate autonomous weapon. That so far it have proliferation of the production by embedded AI into the autonomous weapon system, and without the judgment of human, that kind of weapon can be lethal. It can decide by itself to kill or not to kill, and that is humanitarian issues.
Yeah.
That we need the world or international standards on how do we agree what can be done and what cannot be done.
Yeah.
So the countries that are producing such weapon they need to have some control, and the countries that buy or import such weapon as well, they need we have to be on the same standard on how do we allow what can be done and what cannot be done on autonomous weapon with the control of AI. And the second topic is also important one is
Senate election.
Yes, for the Senate election. Well, this time election of the senators in Thailand is happening in May, right? And we know that it's so complicated.
Yes.
Yeah, the most complex one in the world. I cannot describe how to elect the Senate easily to my colleagues in other countries who joined the IPU.
What kind of suggestion or lessons that you've learned from IPU about Senate system?
Well, for the Senate system, I met many countries.
Yeah.
That they also have senators, which link to people directly.
Yep.
So there are some election for the people, and they expect the role of senators to be something like to check and balance of the representatives of the House of the representatives, right? It's not the case here in Thailand because the senators here are not linked to people.
Yeah, they are appointed by the previous government.
At first, they are appointed by the military government.
Yes.
But now they are elected by the group of themselves. And it is so complex. It is so what should I put it? I have no answer. Why do we have this system?
Yeah.
Why it has to be this complex? What do we expect from this election?
Yeah.
We want Senate who be an expert in some field to represent the expertise, so that they can be the real person who know it, to have some saying on what's going on the legislation from the lower house, because something that passed from the lower house, if it's not carefully treated, the senators can have some kind of check and balance mechanism for that. That should be the role of senators for the ruling system that they have both house, lower house and upper house. But for Thailand, I don't think it is designed for that.
of course, another risk for you and for your party is the Constitutional Court has accepted Election Commission's petition or complaint seeking dissolution of your party. Of course, it linked to the case happening earlier this year about, of course, to overthrow the constitutional monarchy, Section 112 amendment. So what's your party's strategy? I think it's very, very, of course, very important topic in your party. People might think about what's the way out for this dissolution. So do you think will you all survive this time? Because I asked Kumpita about, will you survive from the Constitutional Court case? And he said yes, and it happened indeed. So how about this time?
We will try our best to survive.
Yeah.
But
What is the difficulty here?
the difficulties, I think I will leave this to the listener and observers to judge what the difficulties is. But from what we have seen, the dissolutions of the parties so far in the past 20 years, there are more than 5 significant cases of dissolution, and that more or less the political reason or politicize of the situation of the political climate in Thailand, you know, and there are a lot of things that we are trying to tell the court, tell the people, and tell the world that amending a law is not treason. We are just a lawmaker doing our job, right? And we think law should be proportionate and serve its purpose.
Yeah.
We want to protect, for example, on this case, the amending of the Criminal Code 112, we want to protect the monarchy.
Yeah.
If we want to protect the monarchy, we should make this law to serve the purpose by not be abused by any people who use the law as a tool to politicize, to use them to defame other people, whether they do it or not. Yeah. So there are many aspects of this law, like proportionalities and who can file the lawsuit against who. So this is what we try to make it serve the purpose. But by doing so, it cannot be interpreted in. I think it's not possible to interpret this action as a treason, and we just attempted to do it, right? We have not done it yet.
Yeah. Very quick question, and last question too. So just want to understand, what's the fallout, what's the consequence if move forward dissolved at the end? What was the impact to the society?
Well, the impact to the society, I think it's a risky decision if the verdict comes to the dissolution of the party. It could introduce a perfect storm for the Thai politics. Nobody knows, but I don't want to see any unrest. I don't want to see any riots happening in this country again. I think we should discuss things like this in the parliament. We should discuss things like this peacefully, and parliament is the place for that. Why don't we do that, right? But I think most people has already priced in the futures of this case, and I have heard many of them are priced in the way that the party are going to be resolved, and that is not a surprise. But I don't want people to get used to this too much. You know? It's not normal for other country. This is not normal at all. But so we don't we don't want to normalize this.
Yeah.
But we prepare for the worst.
Okay, thank you so much for today. I know it's a very busy time for you because right now you're still in the parliamentary session right now. So thank you for your time, Mr. Chaiwat Sathawornwichit, Party's MP. ขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณครับ